Welcome back to Mining Stock Daily. Ian Wagner here on a busy Thursday, April 2nd, and we're joined by our friends right now at Bonterra Resources for a corporate update. Bonterra is a gold developer in Canada's prolific Abitibi region. They trade on the TSX Venture under the symbol BTR and on the OTCQX at BONXF. We have Mr. Marc-André Pelletier, CEO of Bonterra, here today to talk about a new resource update at the Demeryville Gold Project. Marc, welcome back to the podcast, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Ian. Thanks for inviting me this afternoon.
Yeah, there's some material results to talk about. Let's not bury the lead. You guys just released yesterday an updated mineral resource estimate for your Bachelor and Moroy deposits at the Demeryville Gold Project, which I should note is 100% owned by you. Some material increases there, right? I'll just read out the numbers and then allow you to kind of give some clarity and unpack those numbers a little bit. But Bachelor and Moroy combined 228,000 ounces measured and indicated at a grade of 3.98 grams per ton gold, and I would say 133,000 ounces of inferred resources at an average grade of 4.23 grams per ton gold. Big increases, right? Double-digit increases there. Gold increase over 40% in measured and indicated, and over 28% in inferred. So, just talk about that. What you guys were seeing, how much of that was drilling versus, gold price, just understanding of the geology, just kind of unpack that for us.
So, thanks, Ian. I mean, you got all the numbers right, so I have to congratulate you. You're right on. So it represents an increase of about 100,000 ounces from the previous MREs that was done in 2021. So you're correct. It's significant. It's all in the measured and indicated, which means higher quality in terms of resource, more confidence, and that 100,000 ounces came 100% from the Bachelor mine, which is, as you know, on a mining lease and on a mining concession. So it's quite interesting to gain, quality ounces on a valid mining lease. In terms of Moroy deposit, the ounces stay about the same from the previous MRE in 2021. However, the whole process of calculation done by P&E Mining, the whole process obviously was much more better in terms of quality and on the technical aspect from the previous. So we have a much better resource in terms of calculations, qualities. We have more drilling and a big addition on the mining lease from Bachelor, which is basically, from the mine, it's the kind of extension of what was mined and was left behind, and we were able to remodel those lenses, and of course with the upside of the price of gold. If you recall, our 2021 MREs were done at $1,600 US, and now it seems already off, but our MREs were done at $2,850. So it's still off compared to what the price of gold is now. But we were quite confident those ounces are there. So we're very excited about that. I would like to mention that is our second MRE update in a little bit over a month, because in our last call we touched the increase of the MRE as well at Barry and Gladiator deposit. We gain about 600,000 ounces there. So plus 600 plus 100. So Bonterra has now 700,000 ounces, all categories in our MRE. So it's significant for the company, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to note that when we spoke last, that we're just coming off that increased resource, and that was, I think, also Peony at that time, if I remember right. Um, and yeah, 2850. I mean, I think if you told people gold was going to be at 2850 next year, they'd have a heart attack right now. So I mean, it's funny how times have changed, right? So Bachelor is interesting, right? Because of the mill there, right? And you mentioned that Bachelor is on those ounces are on the mining lease. Moroy isn't. Just give clarity there, like so. For example, if I was to say, could you start mining Bachelor, today? Would it be a question of just mine plan or understanding, or of just raising the capex, or so? Like, what has to happen there, or what do you expect to happen there?
So we've just completed the MRE with the P&E consultant. We made the release. That the next key step, very important step, is to produce and to file the 43101 report. It's a technical report. So we have that is going to be filed within 45 days. So we got about a month and a half to complete that report with the support of our consultant. And this was kind of a surprise for us. We did not expect that many ounces from the Bachelor mine. So the next step is to look at the resource a little bit deeper for a technical perspective and see how we could approach and mine those ounces. So this is a nice problem to have now. So we gotta look. We got a little bit more work to do on the technical side now to see how we could get production from those ounces. And as you mentioned, we already all have the infrastructures in place. The mill is on care and maintenance since 2020, so it's about 6 years ago, but it's not in bad shape. The benefit to have all those infrastructures, as you mentioned, it actually reduce the capital cost required for a restart. So it's actually also de-risk the fact that we have all those infrastructures and we have measured and indicated resource. So we got a little bit of technical work and analysis to do, but normally once we file the report, that would be the next step, is to start digging deeper and see what we got there and what we could do with those ounces.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll get that report filed, and I know we'll jump into the drill program for the year at Demeryville, but like just so people can understand that the mill complex there. I know it's 800 ton per day. It is permitted. You mentioned it's on care and maintenance. Have you had conversations about the cost to restart it, and what you would want to see before you would do that, or how are you thinking about that within, I guess, the broader corporate strategy?
We spent quite a bit of time looking at that aspect of the business at Bachelor. It's actually started when I joined the company in 2022. We released a PEA on Barry Open Pit, which is now part of the Phoenix GV, but at that time Barry could potentially be processed at Bachelor Mill. And so we've done some work there, some evaluation, and we kept our cost updated since then. We talk about for the mill $10 to $15 million to restart, which is
So not a lot. I mean,
well, divided it by $4,500 an ounce, US, or use Canadian, which is much higher, and you turn up that a couple of thousand ounces. The cost to refurbish and restart the mill is not significant. We have space in our tailings management area for about a year of production. So this is another capital expense that would eventually, after year one, you have to spend money in your TMA to expand. And we look at different scenarios there. And Another aspect of the restart would be to dewater the underground mine because we let it flood in 2022 for economical reason. Honestly, it cost a lot of money to maintain a mine. But looking at it today, it doesn't cost much to dewater a mine. It's when you restart the ventilation and power up the underground and do shaft maintenance that costs more. But the dewatering itself is fairly cheap, honestly.
Okay, so not a ton that would need to be done, and not a lot of money that would have to go into that. I want to, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I don't want to gloss over. You guys are one of, if not the only mine in the region that is, could be operational and has that tailings management capacity, right, in the urban buried camp. Is that, and that puts you, how could you leverage that?
There are other projects surrounding our property. They are at the different stage of development. Some are at early stage of exploration. Some have a resource. Some have a historical resource that needs a little bit of drilling. So it becomes very strategic. I look at the presentation of some other company. They actually mention our mill in their presentation. So obviously,
Do they send you a little fee for that? Do you get any kind of?
no,
No, I'm
no,
teasing.
but
Obviously, that's good to see, though, right? I mean, that means it's an
that's
asset.
yeah. Building a mill today is complex. Takes time, all the permits, the detailed engineering, the construction cost, and you need the social acceptability. And so we talk about 5 to 10 years process to build a mill. And I don't know if you noticed, Ian, but in the last 3 or 4 PEA PFS release, the one that I saw, they have an option. They actually option toll milling in the PEA or economical analysis, but they don't have a mill. They don't have any agreement with other mills, but they base their economics on toll milling.
Mm-hmm.
You see that more often now. Why is that? Because it takes time, costs money, and sometimes the deposits are not big enough, to support a new infrastructure. So it turns out that, hey, if we would do toll milling, we're gonna mine there. So it opens up opportunities for sure.
Yeah, I would argue too in this environment, right? Like people probably aren't toll milling it to when gold was 2,000 or 1,600 but when gold's 4,500 and you have ounces in the ground,
exactly.
there's pressure, right? You want to there's pressure to get them out of the ground and then get some return on it, right?
You're right. Nobody knows what the price of gold is going to be in 5, 10 years, and that could be the time it takes to build the mill. So people want to, take advantage of that. So that's how I think, like how our mill could be, could be used. But as an operator, Jan, you always want to feed your mill with your ore. That's by far the most profitable way to generate revenues. So and that remains our main objectives. In that aspect, we just got the MRE update, and now we're actually planning our next drill campaign that should start in a couple of weeks. So that's another thing that we're quite excited, going back and drill. Bachelor property, the Marville South, such a big land packages and barely untouched in terms of exploration. We have 2 major corridors, if you recall, they kind of merged together on our land package, and that's where we want to drill next to see what happened there in terms of geology, regional geology, with those 2 major corridors that join together. We haven't touched it yet, so that's something we would like to do in our next drill campaign.
So two questions there. One, are those outside of the Hufren zone then? And then two, what is that drill campaign going to look like in terms of number of meters or spend? One drill, two drills? Just kind of walk us through that.
We're still working on the drill program, so my numbers are, very preliminary. We're going to put out a press release in the next couple of weeks with more details. But what we got in our mind now is about 10 to 12,000 meters. It'd be one drill at the start. And we would like to add a second drill like in May and June. We have some deep drill targets, very deep, that we would like to drill on the eastern side of the O'Brien intrusive. So on the western side of that intrusive, we have the Bachelor deposit. On the southern side, we have the Moroy. On the eastern side, we have some good, diamond drill hits. But we would like to test further that side of the O'Brien intrusive, and we're looking to drill deep there. So the second drill would be, focused on deep drilling. And the first drill, I mentioned the southwest of the property where those two corridors merge. In the last couple of years, we drill on a target called Mystic, which means tree in Cree language, Mystic with a K. So we're going to drill on that target. That's going to be the third or maybe the fourth year now that we're going to keep following up on previous drill results. Exploration takes time. You drill few holes, you're trying to understand what's going on with the geology. You had few more. It proves or change your original concept there. Then you develop new targets, you drill it. It's a constant adjustment. So until you really understand what's happening there. And so it takes time. But for example, on Mystic, it's going to be, we started to better understand what's happening there. So, but we're going to have other prospective targets for sure. Yeah, so stay tuned on the upcoming press release on announcing the start of the drilling at Demarville.
We'll look for that. Switching over to, I guess, just a different aspect of the drilling, right? Drilling costs money, and you guys recently announced a credit facility with Wexford Capital, $5 million unsecured Canadian. We didn't talk about that. I think that's been just within the last couple of weeks. Talk to us about how that came together and just what that gives you guys.
Yes, good question. Wexford Capital is our largest shareholders. It's been with the company for a long time. Strong supporter of Bonterra. That credit facility, it's a very short-term credit facility. It's 6 months terms. So it's very short-term. It's unsecured. And of course, it demonstrated the support from Wexford, but also it gave us times. And times is very important in this environment. It gave us also flexibility. If you recall, we're still navigating with the CRA, Canadian Revenue Agency audit that, we've actually press released that in January. So that credit will give us more time, to deal with that problem, which we denied, by the way, and we're going to fight against the Canadian Revenue Agency. But again, that takes time, And the other thing, it gave us time for evaluating strategic alternatives with the purpose to maximize the value of all the shareholders. So time is very important, and we needed some time. So the credit facility allowed us, to continue to explore those strategic alternatives, and at the same time help us dealing with the CRA audit. So it's great. It's great to have, so we've been very busy on the M&A, evaluating, looking, trying to be creative. I know I mentioned that many times, but those things takes times too, and we got to be patient. And we don't know what's gonna come up of it. However, with that credit facility, we just give us more time now, to evaluate and do it right.
Speaking of strategy and corporate strategy, you guys, obviously one of the things you're known for is the JV with Goldfields, right? And I can't let you go without kind of asking about that. When we spoke in March, you noted that Goldfields had 2 rigs drilling 1,500-meter holes right at Barry, testing, I think, 850 meters below the norm. They were targeting 850 meters, which was 200 meters below the known resource there. Any updates on that drill program and what's kind of come back and how that's looking?
Good question. The last news we got a couple of weeks ago is about 65%, 65-70% of the 8,000 meters drill program is complete. The deep holes that you mentioned are done. There's no results yet. Assays are still pending, so that takes a little bit of time now. So there was 5 holes drilled, very deep. So we're quite excited. I mean, we can't wait. Unfortunately, I can't wait, but I gotta wait for the assay lab. It takes times. So we're gonna follow up on that. There's only 1 drill rig left on site now. I believe the focus now is on the southwest of the Barry deposit, so we're still in the same region, same area, but we're off the deposit now. We're drilling holes there. So we're quite happy. Goldfield is a major gold producer, but it's also a very good operator, and they have a very good team, geology team, exploration team, and they're very selective, with the targets. They have a process, and they execute very well. So we're very happy to have Goldfields as a major partner. They also completed a ground gravimetric survey on the ground. Last year we did one, sorry I say we, but part of the GV did an airborne gravity metric survey. It's geophysics. And they completed the ground survey this year. So again, more information, more data to compile, and basically sets up for what's coming up next. So we're quite happy with the drill program. In terms of the earn-in, the $30 million that has to be spent, I think it's going to be the earn-in should be completed around mid-year to end of the year. So mostly in the second half of this year. So Goldfields they have a very good approach in terms of exploration, very well organized in every aspect of the business. So it's a partner of choice, to be honest, and we're very, very happy about that. Very proud of it.
Excellent. Well, I think that's a good stopping point for today, Marc-André. We will definitely look to catch up again as you start drilling up at Moroyville, and certainly if assays or when assays come back from those deep holes at Barry, that's exciting. And otherwise, we'll look to talk to you soon.
Thank you, Ian, and have a good long Easter weekend.
Thank you. You as well. And that's Marc-André Pelletier, CEO and President of Bonterra Resources. They trade on the TSX Venture under the symbol BTR and on the OTC QX under the symbol BONXF. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
The information presented should not be considered investment advice. Mining Stock Daily and its affiliates are not responsible for any loss arising from any investment decision in connection with the material presented herein. Please do your own research or speak with a licensed financial representative before making any investment decisions.